What if your biggest weakness, something like broken English, could be the very tool that lands you a multi-million-dollar tech role? Most people think perfect language equals success, but a reporter's persistence can flip that script. We are going to meet today Anya Cheng. She turned 500 failed resumes into leading Meta's Instagram shopping, 50 million plus growth, and founded Taylor, an AI apparel startup that racked up 20 plus global awards. She is also a TED speaker, adjunct professor, and award winning entrepreneur, proving that resourcefulness beats perfect grammar. And Anya Cheng is here to show us how. I'm Ash, and this is the Founders Podcast. We skip the fluff and dive straight into the high stakes stories and proven strategies of the world's most successful builders. If you want the raw breakdown of how brands are built, scaled, and sustained, you're in the right place. Anya, welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Great. Hi, this is Anya from San Francisco. Before starting the company, I had 15 years in big tech companies before, most recent in Meta. I helped build out Facebook, Instagram, shopping. Was head of product for eBay, helped them launch new business in Latin America, Africa, Asia. And was senior director for McDonald's, helped them launch food delivery business globally when Uber Eats just started. And I'm excited to be here as a new AI startup founder.
Great stuff. Anya, before we start then, would you be able to share something that keeps you motivated? Do you have a motivational quote which drives you, which inspires you would like to share with our audience?
I think the only thing worse than failing is wondering what will work if you did try it. So if you don't try it, you don't know what's going to happen. I think that's what's a lot of founders, why we started companies, right? 50% of startup actually end up fail, but we probably all curious, what if we didn't? So that's why we keep going. Remember, for Uber's investor make 16,000 times of a return back for those investors, right? So you never know, you might be the person who create those value.
Yeah, and 16,000x is quite a lot, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
We all wonder if we can be the unicorn who create value for your stakeholder, for the world, and changing the industry.
Indeed. So, Anya, I want to ask you this hypothetical question, which I ask all of my guests. But while I was going through your story, I thought that maybe we could do something different today. Maybe we could give our listeners something up front. You've been working on this Taylor AI project, right? What made you the best person to work on this? So give our listeners the produce, when you go into Walmart or Tesco's early in the morning, you have the very fresh produce there, right? Your eyes glimpse, oh my God, that's what I need for the week, right? Give us that. Tell us more about your previous story before you started it. What were you doing and what inspired you to go for it?
Yeah, inspired me to start because it was actually started with my own problem, even though it's AI stylist with menswear rental company. But it started with my personal problem. I was working for Meta. As someone who is a female, people with a color, immigrant from Taiwan, being in the US, so I felt a little bit imposter syndrome. Most of people there are white guys who are really geeky and love coding, engineering background. But I was mid-level manager who lead large $40 million budgets, and I felt imposter syndrome. I want to look great so that no one can find out that I'm freaking out every day. So I start trying some subscription boxes on the market, like Stitch Fix, for example. Human stylist style you, but you have to buy from every single shipment when you receive it. And I hate the decision moment because you have to decide how many times can I going to wear these clothes? Can I find somewhere cheaper? How do I going to pair it? After you wash the clothes, you have to do laundry and folding and ironing. It's just a lot of work and my spaces. So I start renting clothes. In the US, we have public company like Rent the Runway, woman's rental company since 17 years ago. We also have their competitor newly by Urban Outfitter, which is now making $500 million per year since they just started less than 5 years ago. But all of those women's rental company require people to pick. 100,000 garment. Anya, you pick, spend 3 hours picking. And I hate the process too. And it was an aha moment that I realized a fashion company has designed for people who are into fashion. They are not designed for people who are just need to look good, but not into fashion. I start
Mm,
doing research. Who else think like me, lazy person who don't care about fashion but need to look good, socially active but don't read GQ? And turn out that a lot of people think like me, but they are all busy men. Sales guy, single guy, recruiter, pastor, professors, consultants. They are men who are not into fashion but socially active. They want to look good not because they care about looking good, because they care about selling a houses as realtors, getting a job
mm.
as a job seeker, getting on a date as a single person. So that's how Taylor was born. With AI, our AI stylists pick clothes for busy men. We send people real clothes for them to rent. So
Mm.
$100 per month. They don't have to do any shopping or laundry anymore.
Wow,
That's how we started.
that's amazing. And there, I remember vaguely, I might be completely hallucinating here, but I vaguely remember there was a girl from Australia on a Dragon's Den, and I think she presented something like that, but it's for the dresses for ladies. So she started this business early in this stage where she started renting dresses for the ladies, I guess. And I think it's similar, but it's more powerful because it's with AI and it's for only men, or is it for all the genders?
We only do for menswear. Very
Okay.
small portion of our customer are actually women who wear menswear, but we only
Hmm.
do menswear. Yes, the company you mentioned might be like rent the wrong way. They started
Hmm.
17 years ago. They start with renting gowns, renting dresses. So then they send people like, I will wear you. People don't never like to wear those gala dresses twice. Because once
Mm,
you took picture of that, you don't want to do it again. The problem
mm,
for those type of business is that the customer acquisition cost is very high because you only acquire the customer they only use once.
mm,
Next 2 years, they don't use it again. So the lifetime value divided by customer acquisition cost, LTV CAC ratio, never going to be high enough to sustain the business. And that's why
mm,
even the company went public 2 years ago, the stock price of the company is still even great. And then that's also why a few years ago they transformed to be more everyday wear because then you can wear every single day. So of course the lifetime value can be a lot higher and then for customers, acquisition cost is relatively a lot more cheaper.
indeed, indeed. But why men? I mean, I go to Harvey Nicholson, Zara, and all these hi-fi, expensive stores, right? And 6 out of 5 floors are full of ladies' clothes, right? Ground floor, first floor, second floor, and maybe a very small section, maybe underground or on the sixth floor, is for men. And they only have t-shirts, shirts, some jackets, some blazers, and that's pretty much it, with mostly similar colors, right? What made you choose this particular niche? Like, why men?
That's exactly why we go after men, because in fact, you don't see a lot of men's wear, but it's actually 42% of the US market. 42%.
Hmm.
While
Mm,
99% of people goes to the 58%, actually 42% of money is there, which is $140 billion in the US.
wow.
However, I'm not even care about menswear at all.
Mm,
What we are actually building behind the thing is a data-driven platform for infrastructure for fashion. It's actually
mm,
data infra. What we are really trying to build is actually today $140 billion business in the US, but let me tell you that 30 billion of that actually go directly from factory to landfill, directly to
mm,
landfill. So every year, fashion brand and retailers waste so much money and also generating 10% of carbon emissions, 20% of polluted water in the world. So fashion is one of the most polluted industry in the world. And so so what we are really doing is collecting those data from customer feedback after they renting. And because
mm,
guy, they hate shopping, so our AI pick clothes for them, which means what? Means that you are guaranteed to tell me feedback. Because if you
mm,
don't, the next time you receive the clothes, the sleeve might be too long, the belly might be too tight. So then you are guaranteed, you are going to for sure tell me feedback and we monetize those feedback back to the fashion brand so that they can stop producing junk. So that there will be less future inventory. Yes, if there's any inventory coming out, we can rent it out. Because just like you say, in the men's fashion industry, there's not a lot of trend. This year,
Mm,
actually, the most trendy color is mocha. So if you have anything light brown, wear it. You are the most trendy guy of the year. Last year,
right.
the most trendy color was actually red wine color. So if you
Mm,
have those red wine color, bring it out. You are very, very trendy. And that's it. Probably additional thing is the pants going to be more loose. Skinny jeans is out of the trend, so do not wear your skinny jeans. If you have loose pants that's actually longer, getting into
mhm,
the flow, that's perfect. Matching outfit, denim outfits are very popular, but that's about it. Not a lot of trend. And that's also why we can collect very high quality data because most of the guy, their style is very consistent. Their job is very consistent. If he sells, he still sells in next 5 years. If
mhm.
he is a venture capital VC person, he probably VC in the next 5 years as well. If he's single, probably next 5 months still single. Sorry. Yes, that's true. So it's actually very consistent lifestyle, which allow us to collect amazing data and feedback to the fashion industry. So then they can stop producing junk and there will be less inventory for the war in the future.
Mm, interesting. So you saying that you're building something behind the scene on top of this, data collection activities you guys are doing. So you have explained what is the main problem you're trying to solve here. So would you be able to share with our listeners about what does the product actually look like and how it actually work? Do you have like an app? Do you have like an online platform? How does people interact with it? And then what sort of revenue model you have in place right now?
Yeah, so people can sign up anywhere, website, app, mobile, desktop, just like how you signed up for Netflix show. It's a
Mm,
subscription. People pay around $100. It could be as low as 70, as high as 120, up to like how many items you want, how many shipments you want. After people signed up, they will fill out a simple style quiz. We ask you height and weight, which we don't always use it. Why? Because most guy thinks you are taller and thinner. So we ask you, okay, what's your size? Definitely medium. Can you go to
mm,
your closet and pick your favorite outfit? What size is it? Extra
large.
large. Oh my God, I'm extra large. And we ask a magical question, which is the most important question, which is what's your goal? Because again, our customer don't care about looking good, they care about looking good. So then they can get a job, get a date, close a deal. We are the executive assistant, we are the butler, we are the gadget guy behind superhero. We are here. What we are really selling is a chance to succeed. It's actually the opportunity to increase confidence and increase chance to succeed. So after that, our customer just get a clothes like 5 item. They are usually mismatched already. Top bottoms and could be blazers, sweater, t-shirt, hoodies, and jeans and dress pant, and it will be already paired as a complete outfit for his upcoming occasions. And the customer wear for a couple of weeks. If they are traveling, they can switch your address to be to hotel. They arrive at the hotel, they wear whole weeks. After the conference, they put into prepaid envelope, give it to hotel lobby. They go home without doing any laundry, go back to London. And next time when they land in New York, they have more spaces for buy souvenirs from the airport. And after that, and customer return the dirty clothes, they can go to post office, drop on the post office box on the street in front of any Whole Food, or they can just simply open a post office app with one click. They will pick up for free, and within 1 to 3 days, they get next shipment already. So they can do this in our apps. If they don't want to, they can send text message to our human stylist. So we have powerful AI, but human stylist will help double check the AI work before you send it to the customer. Just like your Netflix show, you signed up, you watch a show, and then after you finish show, you can next watch another show. That's it.
That's
And
pretty cool.
yeah, and we make money when people, of course, they pay monthly fee. And then why men? Another reason was most of men actually buy the clothes after they rent it. So
Mm,
we also make another money, and which fashion industry is very high margin. So we make over 50% margin when people buy rented clothes, and most of people use a service like try before you buy. So a lot of people actually buy a few items out of a shipment, and we make money again when they buy those rented items.
great. So let's say I'm traveling to New York from London, right? And I'm staying there from Monday to Saturday. 5 days, right? So I have 5 work days, which is Monday to Friday. And then weekend, I'm hanging out with my friends. So I need 2 dresses for weekend. So 7 dresses altogether, 5 work dresses and 2 chill out dresses. How much I need to pay for that? And obviously, because I live in London, I wouldn't need it for more than once when I travel, right? So how does that dynamics work?
Yeah, so most people get like 6 item plan, which in this case they might get like 2 pants and they get 4 tops. Some people do have their own stuff and they don't
Mm,
saying don't bring anything, so still have their own stuff, or they can upgrade to like 7 item plan, which in this case they might get like 2 pants, still 2 pants, but maybe like 6 top, or and then 2 blazer or 1 jacket, and you wear the jacket a few times or something, and pant you can probably wear like 2 3 days if it's not summer. So yeah, so it should be more than enough for 1 week.
mm.
And our customers just wear them and return them, provide feedback. If they live in the US, as soon as they are home, they probably get the clothes within a day or two. So next shipment has arrived. So that's all.
And do you re-rent the same clothes or it's always the fresh clothes all the time?
Yeah, it's rental. So like airport driving car, they are all very new, but they are
Mm,
not brand. They may be, you may be brand new. You might be the lucky person who get the first airport car when they just got in the car,
mm,
because someone have to be the first, right? And we many times we get those inventory from fashion brands. We work with 150 different brands: Johnson and Murphy, Rails, Marine Layer, Bonobos, and BYLT, Cuts, many more.
mm.
So amazing brands in London as well, from different part of the world, in Italy, from Japan, from Singapore.
Mm.
So then after people return the clothes, we wash them within 3 hours. We send to other people. But just like airport driving car, they tend to be very new. Most of the customer end up buy the clothes before, even before we rent to next person. And before it get old, either it was sold or we already sell to other secondhand marketplaces.
Awesome. And how much you said it will cost me if I do that for a week?
For months, around $100, starting like $70 all the way to like 100. So instead of buying one clothes or dry cleaning at the airport or the hotel, and actually can get like 10 items instead of buying one.
That's actually a pretty good deal. I mean, that saves me a lot of luggage, first of all, which I would love to not travel with. And I would love to travel with my, laid back dresses in my plane. Just land, check in into the hotel, and it would be lovely to have this package there saying, "Oh, this is your 5 days of attire. You dress it, and then you go back." So I guess you got a customer when I'm next time in the New York. There you go.
That's right,
Great
that's
stuff.
right. And we all know like how stingy those airlines nowadays on the
Hmm.
luggage, right? Like even like 1 pound is like, hey, and then the third luggage is like 100 and like $250. Are you serious? $50 per for one luggage if you get two. So yeah, so it's
And
definitely
you're forgetting something, which is coming back, you need to wash them, iron them, get ready for the next one. So you're just removing all that kind of, challenge, plus an experience of wearing something from a designer, from a dressing expert, so that gives you the idea of, okay, I usually buy all scents shirts, right? All scents guy, jackets, blazers, jeans, everything. But I've never tried some of the brands you said, like Reese, right? But if I get to try it and if I like it, the clothes, the feel, the fitting, I might actually go to that brand next time when
that's
I'm
right.
buying something,
That's
isn't it?
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So for fashion brand, most of the guy don't wear new brands. They open your clear closet. They have Lululemon, Nike, maybe All
Mm,
Sense, Banana Republics, and that's it. So it's really hard for fashion brand to find new customers. And
mm,
in this model, before they produce anything, they use our AI to see what customers' preference, which because we
mm,
get feedback from the customer, which feed into the AI before they mass production it, they can send out their samples to our platform. So we test out renting to a customer and provide feedback. And then after the mass production, the items now they have unsold inventory, and those unsold inventory can be coming to a platform instead of burning them and creating carbon footprint for the world. So we
Mm,
see us as a one-stop shop for fashion brand and retailer and one-stop shop for busy man because also most of our customers now asking us, can you sell me shoes? I'm not
mm,
renting shoes, but sell me shoes, belt, hats, sunglasses. How about Valentine's Day gift? My wife's
mm,
anniversary is coming. Tell me what should I buy? So they treat us more like their butler to help them
mm.
get ready for their day.
That's really cool. I mean, if somebody takes that headache from me, can you get a gift for my wife or my partner? She's there in Miami with her mom and she's joining me at New York. And you sorted that, right? Payments, delivery, the timing, everything is sorted. I just have to go to the hotel and there you go. My dresses, the gift, everything is ready. I might just buy a champagne bottle and then appear there as a fully prepared fan, right?
That's right.
That's
That's right.
that's
That's right.
pretty good, pretty good. So, Anya, let's step back to the business a little bit then. A lot of people or a lot of investors also, they are scared. They don't go forward with somebody who is getting into B2C space, especially fashion, because it's quite saturated, right? What made you decide to go B2C at the first place? And I have the second part of the question also, but I want to understand this first.
Sure. I think so. In the AI era, the last generation is all about algorithm. So the Google have the amazing algorithm, which is a black box. Whatever you can rank higher is what everybody is looking for. Netflix is an amazing algorithm, which you see whatever shows that's relevant to you. So last generation was all about algorithm, but the era has ended. Now we are in the era of AI. And what make AI different? AI eats data to grow up, right?
Mm,
So without data, AI is useless. It's all about unique data. So I think the era right now is about how where you can get unique data. So I think some consumer is where we collect data, where we get unique data. We got customers' true preference. When I was at Target and I was head of product there, and anything, if you drop 90% off, someone is going to buy it. So
mm,
people's preference tend to be significantly impacted by the purchase price. But in our model, we know a customer's true preference, just like your Netflix show. You watch which show wasn't because it's on discount. You pay the monthly fee already. You watch a show because you like it. So we know
mm,
customer true preference. We know quality of garments. In the era where we always say, oh, sustainability, let me ask you which brand is more sustainable. You might say Patagonia. Why? Because their ad says so, right? Have you tested their product? Is it really more sustainable? No.
mm,
Have you watched it compared to All Sense? No. How do you know? Because I see their ads. So in the last era, which garment is more sustainable is really because their advertising says so. But in fact, in this era, I actually know because we are rental company. How many times can an item be rented? I know the truth, both better than anyone, which means I have a unique data that no one else has. We purchased two companies. They were Hollywood's company that with human stylists who style for celebrities. So the styling data we now have in my company. AI only know the past, not the future. But we are working with 150 fashion brand and they are designing the fashion trend in 2030s right now. So I know
mm.
the future. So I think in the era is about unique data and consumer business is where you get the unique data and then we monetize back to the B2B business, which become additional revenue stream. And I think that's what this war is really make it different. Because otherwise you see every time ChatGPT launch a new version, lots of startups die because they don't have anything unique and defensible.
Yeah. Well, that's undeniable, isn't it? Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's good. So now let me go into the second part of my question, which is you have chosen the B2C. How do you get the customer? How did you got your first 10 customer, let's say?
Yeah, how do I get my first customer? How do we get our current customers? So we start with I am a marketing. I'm a product management and marketing adjunct faculty at Northwestern University. I teach product management, so people always talk about MVP, right? Minimal viable product. Most of
Mm,
people think minimal viable product MVP is equal to the smallest solution that you can build, which is wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. The MVP means it's the smallest viable product that you can validate your hypothesis. For
Mm.
example, in the rent the runway era, which you mentioned on the renting dresses, instead of buying any dresses or building any apps, all they do is screenshot a department store's website and email to a group of students who go in party and say, would you like to rent dresses? Because if they don't rent dresses, buying dress will be useless. The same thing, Amazon Echo started. Instead of building machine learning, Amazon Echo play music. They didn't have
Mm.
any machine learning. There's no AI. All they have is a human behind the camera that can say, play music. Okay, let me play music. Because the
Ah.
hypothesis was people talk to machine. If people
Mm.
don't talk to machine, Echo will be a useless product. So what we did the same thing. We just start with a Shopify page for $10. There was no feature whatsoever. The only thing was a email address box. They put the address here if you want to join our wait list.
Mm.
So a few weeks after, there was a guy, he emailed us and said, hey, I have been on your wait list for a while. I love the service. Please bump me up to the wait list so I can use the service soon. I ignored him. I thought this guy must be a scam. We are nobody. Who are really so eager to bump himself up on the wait list and email me? Must be a
Mm.
scam. He's trying to sell me something.
Mm.
So, and then a few weeks after, he called me. Somehow he found me on LinkedIn. I somehow accepted. Somehow he saw my cell phone there and he picked up the phone call and called me. He said, Anya, I'm Michael from San Diego. I'm a guy. I love the blue shorts on your website. I was like,
Mm.
what? I opened our website. Yes, we do have a blue short. It was actually a stock photo. We don't really have the shirt. And so I
Mm.
really like the short. I've been on the wait list for 2 months. You guys must be really popular. No, we don't have nothing. We're not ready. And he said, oh, we're really please do allow me to use the service soon. And we
Mm.
realized he is a real person. We went into department store. It was right before Christmas. We bought anything that's on sale. We went to a post office, put those things in the post office box, ship it to him. He became our first customer. From
Mm.
there, we did the same thing with 100 customers who joined our wait list. And in the process, we learned every single one's their need. We interview every one of them. We know, oh, if you build a company, you will need a website, you need buy some clothes, you need to work with some fashion brands. And from there, we were able to build our business plan together by interviewing those customers. And that's how we allow us to raise $3 million to. And fast forward for now, like how do we get our customer? Today, we got 10 million impressions from ChatGPT every year.
Wow.
We got a big, last year we got American Marketing Association Best Bootstrap Campaign for the year because we get so much traffic coming from AI SEO. And how we
Mm.
do it is using both human and AI as a flywheel and allow them a quick iteration. For example, we think about what people will ask to ChatGPT and we write down those questions. We use AI to provide the answer. Or marketers will update the content and our human stylists will provide their personal point of view. Then we send the styling note to a real customer. Our customer, when they get a clothes, they will get a styling note, a playlist with a white sneaker. And then he will provide feedback after wearing the clothes. The feedback loop directly go back to the AI. The content after updated, it goes to our website directly. So when you see a short jacket, you will say the jacket will be perfect with jeans, with this type of color. And then, of course, you generate more SEO traffic to our sites and you become a flywheel automatically keep going and going. So every single item that we got, we have description generated by AI on the website. Every customer get a styling note generating by AI. And all of those is also with human in the loop.
Wow. That's amazing because you're kind of merging two worlds into one and then giving a superpower with AI to your data, well, the brain which you build with the data, right? So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like it.
Yeah,
Would
so
you?
it's just nowadays we have to use AI, but I believe that it's still human to make the difference. So it's human AI in a loop, solving real people's problems, and that's how
Mm.
we get customer. Of course, we partner with dating sites, Coffee Meets Bagel, partner with women's rental company, fitness center. You lose weight, you want to look good. We sell to corporate deals as a company employee gift. This will be amazing for new hires so they don't have to think about how to wear for the first 3 months. feel confidence and high good performing. So then they stay longer with the company.
Indeed, indeed. And would you be able to give us a sense of the size of the business, where you are in terms of revenue, number of customers, size of team?
Yeah. We launched officially like 2.5 years ago. Now we have over 2 million revenues per year, and we have a small team. We have like 10 people full time and 10 people part time globally. Half in the U.S., half globally in different part of the world. Yeah, so we are now partnered with 150 different fashion brands. And we have won 20 different awards from Stanford AI Startup Award Top 10. INC, the Inc magazine, last year Best Startup of Year, Business Journal, Most Innovative Startup in Silicon Valley, Stop Waste Award by the governments in Silicon Valley because our sustainability approach for circular fashion and many more. Graduate
Mm.
from 500 Global, Plug and Place, and Draper's Universities by Tim Draper, who is the investor behind Elon Musk, the company's business, and we were the global winner of the program. So still very early, but growing really fast and have an amazing investor. We now have investor like Goodwater Capital, which is the largest consumer tech VC in the world. They are company behind company like TikTok, Spotify, Twitter, and then also Berlin Capital. They are early investor of Lyft, Instacart, and the founder of YouTube.
Nice. Great stuff. And before we head towards the end of our episode, Anya, is there something you would like to share from your journey, which is something like a mistake or a setback you have encountered, and you would like to educate our listeners around it, that if something like that happened into their life, this is the lesson you have learned and how to tackle that situation?
Yeah, I would say people thought when people look at my background, like, oh, of course you got startup successful because you work in Meta and head of product for eBay and Target and senior director at McDonald's. You went to Northwestern University, University of Chicago MBA. That's why. No, that's not true, right? So I as an immigrant from Taiwan, so I came to the US in 2007 and I got my master's degree in marketing in 2008. And you might remember what happened in 2008. Lehman Brothers went bankruptcy and there was no job anywhere. So I graduated from Northwestern University at the time with a master's degree in marketing, but I actually didn't have marketing background. I was a reporter back in Taiwan. So even campus recruiting, I wasn't able to get any job interview. So what I did was I went to all different schools. You have engineering school, law schools, and MBA schools, chemistry schools. So every school have their own campus recruiting, right? So then you can find the information on school's website. I way outside of those building. By the way, it's in Chicago, which is like minus 20 degrees Celsius. It's 40-degree Fahrenheit. So I wait outside the building. As soon as a recruiter came out from their school, I sent them my resume.
Hmm.
It didn't work. Or I didn't get any job from there. So people say, Anya, that's not working. In the US, you have to do networking, which means
Mhm.
only people refer you, you will get a job. Just like in angel investing or VC investing, cold calling probably not going to get an investment. You have to find someone refer you, like, Ash, can you refer me this angel? You know this guy or woman's, and that's why you do so. But I didn't know
Mm.
anyone. Well, that's not true. Yes, I came to the US for the first time. I didn't have any family or friends in the US, but I kind of know professors. They don't know me, but I know them, right? So I knock on the door for different schools. Northwestern University is a big school. There are hundreds of professors. So I went to chemistry school, engineering schools, history schools, a journalism school. And it was before COVID. All of the faculties actually work in the office. So every time I go, I say, hey, professor, you used to work for this company. You can find their profile on the website, right? You work for this company. They are still hiring. You still know this guy. Can you send my resume to this guy? One day, there was a professor. He said, I don't know you. I cannot refer you to any job. But tomorrow, I'm hosting a panel and I need 10 more students to fill the seat. If you want, you can come. You can bring 10 students. So I
Mm.
went and I listened to the talk and I have no idea what she was talking about because my English was so bad. But all I know was that after the talk, I say, hey, this is amazing talk. This is my resume. Can I interview in your company? So She says, okay, she connect me to the recruiter and I got an interview there. It was a magazine company, sell magazine to farmers and salon owners as a trade publications. So as I walk out of the building, I saw the magazine on the wall. I thought this is a perfect job for me because I was a reporter, I have media background. They are looking for a marketer and I have a master degree in marketing. Few weeks went by, I follow up with a recruiter. Hello, when can I get my offer? I thought it went very well. The recruiter say, stop calling me. I
Right.
was laid off. She was laid off herself. I
Mm.
said, "Hey, you have nothing to do? Do you want to grab a coffee?" She said, "Okay, yes." So I grabbed a coffee with a recruiter who was laid off. She told me everything. She was no longer with a company, right? So she told me who was a decision maker, what's going on in the company, who is their customers, etc. She also told me one small thing. She said, "Have you heard of New York and LA? They are bigger cities in the US than Chicago, where I was, and bigger city has more jobs." So with that idea in mind, I print out 2,000 Northwestern University alumni. Of course, I don't know any one of them, but I'm alumni. So I start cold calling all of the alumni who live in those two cities. And I found different friends. And so I stay in different people's living room every week for those 8 weeks every week on the couches. Information interview, visit all of those alumni. And I also was very interested in joining a media company at the time because I thought my background was a reporter. I should work for a media company as a marketer, which was a really dumb idea. Because if you think about that, ESPN doesn't need marketing team.
Mm.
CNN doesn't need marketing team. They are media company. They are marketer. They don't need marketing team, but I didn't know. So I saw those, you probably remember in New York, there are newsstands on the street, right?
Mm.
So I bought all the newspapers from the newsstand because I found that all of the newspaper in the old time, they would say publisher name so and so. Harsh. If you want advertising, call this number. So I bought all the newspaper. I start calling all of the publisher. As a result, I actually met with all of them. Most of them are CEO of New York Times, VP of CNN, and many more. But nobody was hiring. I thought this
Mm.
is working, but this is too slow. I should go to conference. If you go to conference, you can meet hundreds of people in a day. But conference tickets are very expensive. So I decide to call a magazine company back in Taiwan. And I say, hey, this is amazing conference in New York. Would you like me to cover the story for free for you? They say, yes. I call the conference. Hi, I'm a reporter from Taiwan. Please give me a press ticket. I got a ticket. So I went to
Mm.
the conference. Again, I met with hundreds of people, but there was no job anywhere. Everyone said my company is laying off people. So I went
Mm.
back to Chicago. I was ready to back and go home back to Taiwan. But before I go, I realized I learned a lot. During the process, every time when you go talk to people, you prepare, you learn a little bit during the process. So I reached back out to Peggy, who was the trade publication. Remember the Farmers Magazine company? So I
Mm.
say, hey, do you want to know what your competitors are working on? She said yes. Before I went interview their readers who are salon owners. I walk into salon and interview them. I interview the advertiser because you open magazine, you will see advertiser who are advertising there. So I call those advertisers. Of course, I interview their former employee, the recruiter who was laid off. So I put together a business plan. I didn't even know they call business plan, which is a plan. So I
Mm.
say, hey, this is what your competitor working on based on your customers and clients. This is a few things I think you should be working on. And if you want someone to work on these things, you need someone with marketing background and ideally just out of school, not very expensive. And I happen to know someone. Anya Chen here. My English was really bad. She asked me, would you like to be a contractor?
Mm.
My English so bad, I didn't know what that means. I said yes. I went home, I Googled contractor, and I didn't know why she want me to be a plumber. Because in
Mm.
the US, contractor
Means
for
plumber.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but that's how I got my first job. But I think my takeaway was I wasn't trying to tell you like you should ambush people and do this. I think what keep helped me keep going was that I was trying to look at my strengths. The only experience I had before was a reporter. So I
Mm.
knew how to weigh the recruiter outside the building. I know how to interview They're salon owners, advertiser. I knew how to get a free ticket for a conference by being a free reporter. I know how to call people by buying a newspaper and call a publisher. You probably
Mm,
cannot do any of this and don't want to do any of this, and that's fine. But
mm,
because I was using my strengths, I'm sure you have your strengths. By using your strengths, you won't give up because you will think, hey, I know how to do that. Let me try one more time. And is
mm,
that trying one more time eventually get you to succeed because you are practicing to the failure versus and failure you are basically practicing succeed. So go back to the first quote that you asked me. The biggest risk isn't failure, is never finding out what could have worked. So
mm.
that's how I want to leave with you, and I'm sure you can find your strengths.
Indeed, indeed. And that's a perfect closure for our episode today also. So let's move on to our six quick fire round. You can answer them with a couple of words. That's not a problem for me. And then at any point you think you don't want to answer a question, just give me a skip and we can move to the next one. It's just six quick fire questions. You ready? Great. What are the top three strategies to generate more leads in 2026?
I think the first time is definitely leveraging the AI. So getting either the content, iterations, and videos. And the second thing is definitely testing. Testing still never go old. So testing your things and test one thing at a time. It will be a message, will be offer, no offers, or it could be more bright color or studio style or lifestyles and shooting stuff on the streets. And third thing is just really deeply understand your customers. For example, in Taylor, we are not selling clothes. We are selling the chance to succeed. We are not selling to people who read GQ. We are selling to people who don't want to spend time reading GQ. So deeply understand the why is what you get you getting more customers.
What book would you recommend to our audience and why?
I do like the book Get to Aha. It's written by the positioning person for Steve Jobs. So as you know, like positioning is about how will people describe you and remember you. Like Disney is the world's happiest place. For when you think about Amazon, it's the most customer centric company. When you think about Nike, just do it because their positioning was the athletic footwear for people who are authentic athletics. So if you are authentic athletic means you can just do it. So think about finding the one thing make people remember you and stand out.
Great stuff. What's one attribute or characteristic in your mind of a successful founder?
I think people definitely resilient, resourceful. So when you see things that you don't have anything, you'll find something. I know founder who actually coming to Bay Area. He's 45 years old, have two kids. He actually live in the car for a few days. It's not because he doesn't have money, but he feel like the money can be better spent in other places. I think people are definitely resourceful. Like for example, I was trying to do a press release out, but I didn't want to pay for a PR agency. So I reached out to one of our brand partners. So they are fashion brand. Say, hey, we won this amazing award. Why don't you use it as a press release saying that your partner who partner with you actually won this amazing award, which now you can kind of use my award. And they said, yes, they are big company. They sent out a press release and we got like 20 coverage for free. So for them, they got an award. For me, I got a free coverage and it's win-win.
Indeed, indeed. What's your favorite personal productivity tool or habit?
Personal productivity habits, I think it's just taking a break in between your day. So my day is usually very long from 8, 9 o'clock to like 10, 11 p.m. But usually in the late afternoon, I might go swimming or have a shower. It just help me to have like half time break and recharge. Sometimes you realize you got something angry and then you feel like you lost your productivity and now close your laptop because you're just wasting your time. Where you might be a night that you cannot sleep. If you keep laying down there, you're still not going to sleep, just waste your time. Just get up and know that even one day without good sleep, you are fine. Like physically, you are okay. But is that mindset and taking break out of that something and help you to recharge and then kind of reset? And that's why in NBA people have timeouts, right? simple
Mm,
timeout for 10 seconds, 10 minutes really change how the player perform. The same thing, give yourself a timeout.
great stuff. What's a new or a crazy business idea you would love to pursue if you had time?
I think after my startup, we go IPO, work after we been acquired in that. I do want to go get my PhD in London. Actually, I want to move to London, explore different part of the world. And I don't have a next idea yet, but one thing that I definitely want to explore is actually kind of build an AI mini CEO. Every day, I wish I can clone myself. So I think so. If I do have another startup, this might be some candidate ideas that I want to
Mm,
do. I believe that every one of us should be have a clone versions of AI Anya, AI Ash. A lot of things our AI probably can do some of the things before.
that's great. That's great. I mean, you are always welcome to London, and if you ever decide to, just give me a ring, and I'll be happy to work with you. I mean, we have lots of openings right now, but obviously, once you're here, we can talk further. And last but not least, what's an interesting or fun fact about you that most people don't know?
Yeah, I actually have a bachelor degree in Korean. I'm originally from Taiwan, but actually studied Korean. Wasn't because I love Korean. I do love Korean friends. Don't get me wrong, but I was trying to get into the best school in Taiwan. Luckily, in Taiwan, different from in the U.S., the better school it was, the lower tuition it would be. So growing
Mm,
up, my mom always told me you have to get to the best school. Otherwise, we cannot afford it, which will allow me to get into the best school. So getting the best school, I now have a Korean. So now I can still say like, give me a free appetizer when I go to restaurants, or I can say, hey, can you give me a discount? So still very useful. And because of my Korean major, I was actually once the representing Taiwan in United Nations at the World Peace Conference. So it was a fun experience being a representative.
awesome. Well, Anya, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your story and unpacking the last years of building this business and some of the ups and downs. If people want to get in touch with you, they want to have a chat, they have questions, what's the best way to do it?
Yeah, so if you don't want to worry about your wardrobe, but want to look great and look sharp every day and success, no matter what's your definition of success is, check out Taylor. If you are in the US, our Taylor.style. Use the code podcast25, podcast25. You can get 25% off first month. Use the code podcast gift. You can get 10% off gift card. If you are investors, suppliers, talents, we are hiring sales, BD, marketing, machine learning engineer, merchandising, operations. We are growing a lot, hiring a lot. So feel free to reach out to me if you're a dating site, fitness center, corporates, executive coaching companies, schools. Reach out to me. My email is Anya, Anya, at taylor.ai, TAELOR.ai, Anya at taylor.ai.
Perfect. Tanya, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your inspiring journey and the impactful work you're doing through Taylor. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on Founders Podcast.
Thank you.